Hello everyone, this is Cliff. Welcome back to our Let's Play of Dark Souls 2. Now when we last left off, we had rescued the third knight. As you can see, he's standing here ready to go. Excuse me. Did a test run of this, which is kind of aggravating because you actually have to defeat a fair amount of enemies before you can actually test run the boss. But I think I've got my equipment sorted out. It's basically the same thing that I used in the last video. I've changed helmets, and the gauntlets are different, going more for defense than for the extra souls and the extra item drop rate. Other than that, everything's pretty much the same. What else did I add? I added an extra healing item, which is no big deal. I added these radiant life gems. Okay, so at this point, we're just going to drop down into here. Now, we're going to have to face quite a few regular enemies before we actually take on the boss. That can be good and bad. That's mostly bad. Not going to lie to you. What we're going to have to do in the very beginning is kind of crowd control. Let's see. These guys will start to attack. Now, unfortunately, you would think that would make all of these enemies start to attack other people, but they really focus mainly on you. The good thing about this Murakumo is that it can really stagger enemies. I need your help, boys. There we go. So the first thing that you can see is that your helpers aren't the greatest in the world. And the next thing you'll see is that when you get trapped up next to a wall, it's really hard to see where the attacks are coming from. Like this guy. And at this point I need to use an Estus flask. Oh, you prick. Like I say, this is the worst part right here. The fact that you can't see enemies sometimes. So we've frozen over one of the portals, and that's going to kill off that guy, which is good. Okay, so they're headed towards sealing off another portal. Oh, unfortunately, I've got quite a few guys still left on the screen here, which is not good. This actually turns out better for me as a player if I have a lot of pyromancers left, but it looks like I've got close range guys, so I'm really gonna have to start. Damn. I'm really gonna have to start working some guys over. I'm gonna be in trouble. Please lock on to the guy closest to me. Okay, so this is where it becomes decidedly less fun. Okay, I'm just gonna roll out because I need an Estus flask. You almost hit me. All right, that's that one. If I can get the melee guys done, I can work the pyromancers. Alright, boys. Alright, one more left. There we go. Alright, this should bring on the final boss for this download content. Let me go ahead and get this soul. You can trade those Loyce souls in to the lady in that throne room. Once you reach certain levels, she'll give you different items. All I really want to do is kill this guy. I don't give a shit about that, really. Okay. Thrust attack from a jump. That's one of his attacks. He has that swing. Dashing swing. That combo. Need to be careful for that one. Especially when he boosts up. He will boost his attacks. Oh shit, you're kidding me. Now it's important if you are using this Murakumo, it is important not to do those kind of after roll attacks because they're horribly inaccurate against this guy for some reason. But he's just kind of slow and steady. There we go. I'll go ahead and drink up top off. Why not? Ah, roll too soon. I'm gonna drink because I'm halfway down on health. So the best thing to get him to do is to roll away like that and spend as much time not attacking me as possible. Because he can do that. He can just suck through your stamina. Oh, and I'm dead. Oh, he let me off. A reprieve. I hate that two-part attack. And this is area of effect. That will give me a chance to heal. So thank you. There we go. Things get a little less dodgy now. Fuck you. Hate this prick. Alright. Oh, block that cliff. Quit fucking around and block that. That's going to give me a chance to heal. And I should be down to the 2-hit range. Oh, God. That was a comedy of errors on both of our parts. Ah, you will let me hit you, you fucker. Alright, so that is the Burnt Ivory King. And so what you'll do is you'll have an item over here. And that's the crown. So we have all 3 crowns. And yeah, okay. So that's all we really needed to do. Alright, so at this point in time, you'll have this light right here that leads you back up to the throne room. Excuse me. Now, at any point, you can actually come back down here and fight these burnt Loyce knights for those souls. I think you have to get like 50 of those before you get the biggest prize, which is the soul of the other piece of Manus, which is what she is. She's a piece of Manus. What we're going to do is I'm actually going to try to talk to her. Every other time I've played this and started talking to her for kind of the end synopsis, I've always been invaded. So this kind of sucks, but let's see if we can get through it.
souls still remain. I pray for their deliverance. The Knights of
Okay, so yeah. Alright, at this point we've got one more little thing we can do with the king. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce around. I'm going to get the weapon from that boss's soul, and when we come back I will show you that weapon, and I'll be near the king's memory where we can go ahead and do all of that. So I will be back in 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we are back right outside of the king's memory, and I'm wearing Durgo's hat because it's just kind of cool. The weapon that we got from the last boss is... Oh, where are you? It's right here. That Ivory King greatsword right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through here and we're going to enter the King's memory. And this will provide us with one last little scene involving the crowns. Alright.
Seeker of fire, I see you've subdued another foul creature. One of the father of the abyss spawn. That confounded quintessence of humanity. The abyss once had form, but then dissipated. And yet, traces of its existence endured. Each fragment, thirsting for power, spread dark with no relent. My dear Chandra was one such fragment. A feeble, tiny thing that thirsted for power more than any other. Driven by insatiable lust for a worthy vessel. One day fire will fade, and dark will become a curse. Men will be free from death, left to wander eternally. Dark will again be ours, and in our true shape, we can bury the false legends of yore. Only, is this our only choice? Seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. Seek strength. The rest will follow.
Okay. Excuse me. That's the last little scene with the crowns. And now I believe the crowns, if you're human and you die, I think they will prevent you from going hollow at this point. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to travel back to Majula real quick, and then I'm going to wrap things up. Alright, so one thing I didn't show you was the actual crown itself. This is the crown of the Ivory King. Probably looks better if you're human. So we've got all three crowns, and all three of the download contents have been completed. Obviously at this point there are some extra optional areas both in the first and in the third download content that I haven't covered. Probably will do those maybe at a later date. As much as I love Dark Souls 2, having to pour through it to do a video and having to do it on my Xbox to figure out how to beat all the enemies to do the video has kind of left me a little sick and tired of Dark Souls 2 for right now. So I will probably come back at a much later date and finish up that optional stuff. Especially, I think there's probably going to be some more DLC for Dark Souls 2. I'm pretty sure that From Software is not quite finished with everything right now. This is probably the last video for a while on Dark Souls 2, so I appreciate all those who have watched my videos. Really enjoyed making them. Kind of had sucked that I got sick a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago, so I was hoping to get this done a lot sooner. Next up is probably something a lot shorter, something that lends itself to short videos. I may try to do something like a Far Cry 4, because I've got all sorts of work stuff coming up in the next couple of months, and the shorter videos I can make, probably the better. If not, it will probably turn into something like this where I have to skip 2 or 3 weeks between videos, which I hate doing. That kind of sucks. maybe after something like a first-person shooter like a Far Cry or something like that, maybe I can actually try to get on to some of the strategy stuff that I like Crusader Kings 2 or Victoria 2 or Europa Universalis, something of that nature. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. So until I see you again, this has been Cliff. I hope you enjoyed Dark Souls 2 and the 3 download contents. Leave a like if you liked the video. I appreciate it. And I will see you down the road. I hope everybody takes care. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.